You're listening to the online edition of Across the Pond with me, Richard Morris. Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, it is not possible to play the music which is announced and featured in this programme. You'll still hear us announce the songs, but the programme will then jump straight to the next part. If you're very clever, you could pause this recording, play the songs yourself, and then hit play on this programme again for added effect. This last suggestion is optional, however. Enjoy the show. Hello, and welcome to January's edition of Across the Pond with me, Richard Morris.
I'm Luke Lowrey here in the studio.
Hey, it's Suzie Sunshine over here as well.
Who's currently sitting around in pyjamas tweeting. So we can tell that, she's really into this and really getting involved.
She seems comfy.
Okay.
She does seem comfy. I am quite jealous right now.
Let me explain it, though. I hate rain, and it's raining. It's been raining for the past 2 days. I almost hate rain as much as I hate cold.
Okay.
So now I have fleece pajamas to protect me from both elements. And my hair's already wet, so it's really irrelevant now. I don't even need an umbrella.
Try living on the west coast of England where it rains like 250 days a year.
I would never. Ever.
But, when I went back at Christmas and New Year, I was amazed, how rainy and stuff it was, because it just seemed ridiculous to me. Because I've just got so used to the climate here.
Do you even carry an umbrella?
Not anymore. And
Just
that was a
get used to
really
it.
bad
It's just
mistake.
rain.
That was
It's
a
just
really
rain,
bad
right?
mistake to make. I still always have an umbrella with me here,
Yeah.
but I never use it. But I went to go and see some friends at home, and I was like, oh dear, I haven't actually got an umbrella with me. And it always starts raining, of course. So
Cool.
You live an exciting life.
I do have a very exciting life.
Unexpected rain showers.
I'm just really tired this morning. So that's why I'm not really that good at improvising things to say this morning. But there we go.
Well. We could just get into real content.
We can. So this month's edition, we're going to play some music because I need to do that because I need to try and wake myself up. But on top of that, before we do that, we're going to talk about Christmas and New Year because I spent Christmas here and then New Year back in the UK. And that was interesting because I'd never really had an American Christmas before.
Is there a huge difference? As far as celebration goes?
I thought there was going to be more of a difference than there actually turned out to be. I thought that the American Christmas would be really over the top and just extravagant and really sort of out there, but actually it turned out to just be fairly sort of average.
I think it depends on families.
It's a recession.
No. I mean, on top of that though, we spent most of the day on Skype. That was all my host family did. So we just Skyped their various family members. So it was it was really nice though because I got to speak to all of them and stuff.
It's an electronic Christmas.
It was actually,
Sorry,
but I know I was actually thinking about how well you managed to cover that up. It was a very discreet burp, but no, Skype kept on dropping out though, and I realised because I think everyone in America uses Skype on Christmas Day.
I believe so.
But you see,
and FaceTime.
But I mean, no one in the UK uses Skype on Christmas Day because everyone has their family over because at max you're only 6 hours away from each other, so everyone at least tries to make the effort for Christmas.
I remember as a child, huge Christmases, huge, all family, which was a big family.
Is that a California thing?
No, because this side of my family, they're from Mississippi, so maybe it's a Mississippi South thing,
It could
But
be.
huge Christmases.
Failed California joke attempt. I just want to point that out.
I have to prove you wrong.
that kind of was. I was just trying to, re-engage our listeners into the fact that you're actually from San Diego.
I am from San Diego.
And, yeah.
Yeah. I plan on moving back here soon, so only a couple of across the ponds left.
I know.
With me, Luke Lowrey, on here.
I know. Nice
but
name drop there.
I appreciate it.
It's
Richard.
fine.
Sending
especially
me
as
across the pond.
Exactly. And especially now that I've kind of stolen your job, I feel as though I have to make
I
up for it.
I feel like you're a great replacement. Appropriate even.
You're just saying that.
No.
Did you quit flirting?
No.
I feel like no one else here in the department likes news radio as much as you do, Richard. So
Well, that's only because
I appreciate it.
That's only because I'm like a BBC baby. Like,
Woohoo!
no, but I mean, like, everyone in the UK knows radio news because it's on all the time.
Yeah.
So, like, whereas in America, radio's just for like music and just for that kind of stuff.
Long distance drives.
And long
also.
distance drives.
Yeah, and hipsters.
And yes. and you all have like satellite radio as well. I always find that really weird that you have like that thing that goes into your car and you can listen to satellite radio.
And
like
HD also.
Yeah. Like in the UK we have like over 300 satellite radio stations, but no one's producing any satellite radios for cars. You can only listen to them like through satellite TV services, which is just pointless and stupid.
There's production on some wireless internet cars also. So internet radio is going to be in cars.
Oh, that'll make sense actually, because when I went out west towards the end of December, before I then went back to the UK. Excuse me. That was really badly covered. And that car, like when we were on the radio screen, like there was an option for like either satellite or like Pandora or something. Mm-hmm. So that's probably what that car did.
So fun.
But I didn't know what to do with it. I clicked on all these options, and then it kind of came up saying that it couldn't do it. And I was
an
like,
alarm.
Oh. Yeah, I was like, I don't really want to.
I can't even drive.
And like my host dad was driving, I didn't want to distract him and make him have a crash. So I just kind of stopped fiddling with it after that. But no, it was really great actually. I went out to I went around like Nevada, Arizona, and Utah.
Oh, nice.
And I did like all the canyons and like all the desert.
I love
stuff.
the desert.
It was really nice.
So good.
It was really, really nice. I didn't realize like how Las Vegas is literally in the middle of nowhere.
Oh yeah.
Like once you get out of Vegas, it is just nothing because there's like
desert, bunch of lights.
Yeah.
You leave it, desert.
It's like there's 3 like major cities in the whole of Nevada. And that's like it. I mean, there's nothing else in between those cities. And we also had like a drive one day that was like 120 miles between one petrol station and the next. And in that 100 petrol station. And between that 120 miles, there was literally no one. Like we didn't even meet anyone on the road. Like it was just this one long desert road. And nothing was there. Apart from cows. There were loads of cows by the side of the road for some reason.
You know.
It's great.
I think it's really funny because my sister, whenever we go on adventures, wherever, when she sees cows... Yeah, adventures. That's what we call them. We end up really random places, usually the beach. But she'll see cows and she'll be just amazed. She's like, I don't see these. And then, what's that? Like, we saw a llama one day. I don't know why.
Oh, I think I saw a llama actually whilst I was out there.
Yeah, it's the craziest animals that you see on the side of the road. I think it's funny because you expect, like, cows, horses. You don't really expect llamas. Sometimes there's sheep.
Armadillo.
Carrollton is known for armadillo.
No, I've seen an armadillo in Alabama. I went to Alabama for a lake weekend back in August, and I was sitting out on, like, their, like, decking that kind of, like, went out in next to the lake. And like there was an armadillo like right there in their garden, and I was like, "Oh my!"
Pick it up.
And it was like, and the thing is that it had walked into the middle of the garden, and then it had turned on the security light, and then it had just kind of stood there because it didn't know what to do because it was panicking so much, and it just kind of stood there and was just staring at me, and I was like,
"What are you gonna do?"
It's like I could so go and like steal this armadillo and take it home with me.
Yeah, my friend claimed to be attacked by an armadillo in Carrollton.
They're vicious.
Like last week. He's like, I didn't know what to do. But,
did they actually attack? I didn't know they attacked.
They have massive claws, that's for sure.
Do they really? Mm-hmm. I was not aware of that. I thought they were just like a big like shield. I thought they were like some kind of like super morphed tortoise, like with like extra abilities or something. I don't know.
Well, I'm glad you didn't pick it up and get shredded.
Yeah, me too.
Would it really attack?
I would
because
so.
We don't have armadillos in like we have no interesting animals in the UK. I think like the most dangerous thing we have in the UK is a rat.
Just try to scare it, see what happens. A little experiment.
I honestly think we should just start convincing him all these animals are like very terrifying. Like rabbits. Yep.
Yeah,
they'll eat you.
Gnaw your face off.
But on the like, we have rabbits in the UK. I know what rabbits are like. Don't you have like slightly poisonous spiders out here and stuff?
Yeah.
The brown recluse. Ridiculous.
Is it actually very dangerous?
Yeah, it'll bite you and then your skin will start to decay.
Is that true?
Oh, it's true.
I can't tell. I think I
Google it.
I'm not gonna Google it now.
Google
I'm gonna Google it in my own spare time. I'm gonna Google it during the first two songs.
Google it. Good.
Seriously? Right, okay. I'm going to Google this now because I don't believe you. And whilst I'm Googling it, I'm going to play 2 songs. One is by Imogen Heap and it's called Good Night and Go. And this was...
a throwback.
Yeah, it's really old, but it's really, really, really nice. And I can't remember where I originally discovered it from. I think it was on like some old like Apple demonstration video on their website, and I think that's probably why I discover loads of music because it's used either in Apple commercials or like just Apple videos generally. I spend way too much time on their website, and then I'm gonna play Rizzle Kicks When I Was a Youngster, which I don't think I played back in November on this show, but if I did, I do apologise.
I love the song,
and it's a good song anyway. So I mean, you should forgive me. So there we go. Here's Imogen Heap and Rizzle Kicks. That was Rizzle Kicks with When I Was a Youngster. It's just started raining really heavily, and Luke walked here, so he's going to have to now walk home in the rain.
No, I'll just get a ride.
Why is it suddenly raining so heavily here? Like, it hasn't been raining here for months and months and months.
Usually it rains a lot during the winter time.
Because it's too warm to snow, thank God.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah.
When I was staying on Christmas Eve, we had that really heavy thunderstorm, didn't we? And it was really horrible. And I woke up because there was a really bad like thunderstrike, and it shook my bed quite literally. And so I woke up on Christmas Eve morning like because of thunder and lightning. And that I can never say that that'll ever happen to me ever again.
I like those storms a lot.
It was quite cool. It was quite cool. Oh, by the way, for the benefit of our listeners, the brown recluse spider actually does exist, and Luke isn't lying.
I'm not. I don't lie.
And
I joke, but I don't lie.
When I searched it on Wikipedia, I looked at the map of distribution and I said, oh no, it isn't in our region, before realizing that it covers most of Georgia because that's how terrible my geography is. But no, it's very rarely deadly and it very rarely bites, but it is possible to die by a brown recluse spider. So there we go. There's your fact for this month's edition. Now we can just talk about garbage.
2 friends
that
have been bitten by a brown recluse.
It's an epidemic.
Especially in Georgia.
Were they like seriously badly affected or?
Just a little bit, around the bite started to decay on their skin. That's about it. Went to the doctor, got some antibiotics or something.
Some cream or something.
Yeah, something like that. But it's pretty disgusting, like holes in their skin.
Oh.
Really?
Intense.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Can we Google like effects?
I love how you're like sitting there smiling so much while talking about this. It's like, oh, this is really
I'm getting
cool.
so excited.
This is really, really, really cool. Just talking about like holes in skin.
Woo.
But no, so yeah, that was like my Christmas Eve morning was being woken up by thunder and lightning.
Well, was it last year around this time we had that huge like ice storm kind of?
I think that was
the
2
snow.
years ago. The
Was it 2?
Snowpocalypse.
Yeah, the snowpocalypse 2 years ago.
Oh my gosh, it snowed. It
So
snowed
fun.
like 6 inches, and all of Georgia was shut down for like
Shut
2 weeks.
down, just like
Because-
walking in the roads and everything.
Because Georgia just can't deal with any level of snow.
You
So
can't.
it's like we in the UK, we can't really deal with any level of snow because we very rarely get it. But in the winters of 2009, 2010, we had really heavy snowfall. And we had like maybe 2 feet overnight over most of the country. It was
Nice.
like on average that was like the amount of distribution, and like they sent up like a load of satellite photographs like back from space, and like the whole of the UK was just white.
Nice.
It was amazing.
That is cool.
But yeah, so I mean, I remember like everything was closed then, and everyone was like, "Oh, there's no bread in the supermarket. What will I do?" So everyone just got really bothered. And
I
stuff.
just
But it did
remember,
actually.
drinking a lot of whiskey and wine, and walking around from house to house. It was great. Keeping
What, when it
warm.
was
I heard
snowing?
here
Yeah.
they stole the trays from the cafeteria and they were sledding down hills, like on campus. Like you would find trays all over, mostly broken in half.
We had a friend who lived out about half an hour away from us, and she was at the time on holiday, and we were just going like every so often, like once a week or so, just to check that like her house was okay. And her boiler stopped working because the water like out pipe just froze up completely.
yeah.
And we had to like saw open this pipe, and like all of these like really long cubes of ice just started falling out, and it was really cool. But like at the same time, the house was like -3 because the heating hadn't been on for about a week. yeah, that wasn't great.
That didn't sound great at all.
It wasn't. It was just so freezing for like 2 weeks, and basically every night it just snowed more and more and more. and I remember my dad went out one morning at like 5 a.m. because it had been snowing all night, and he went onto the conservatory roof, which is what you'd call a sunroom roof.
Sunroom.
Because it got to the point. It got to the point that like, had he not like shoveled the snow off the roof, it probably would have like caved in. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's how much snow we had.
I don't
That's
know
wild.
if I could do that. I mean, originally I'm from Chicago, so I remember like when I was a little kid, we used to have tons of snow and like pile it against houses and slide down it and everything. But here, I remember I tried to drive and like 3 inches of snow and I almost died, and everybody around me almost died. And I just think
well, here it's more ice instead of the snow. You know,
it was like really like just snow. Like that's why I felt like an idiot. It wasn't even iced over. It just was just powdery
and then
snow.
Also here we're not used to it, so there aren't the resources.
Yeah.
Up north, they have the resources to get rid of that snow on the roads.
I would say so. I know that in the UK, like when we had those 2 really bad winters together, like everyone was like, "Oh, why can't we have heated runways like Sweden has?"
Heated runways.
And it's like, well,
Awesome.
I mean, I can see the point maybe for London Heathrow, maybe.
Yeah.
But like for the vast majority of the rest of the country, it really doesn't matter that much. And on top of that, we so rarely have any level of snow anyway. It just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, it really doesn't. But everyone just got really angry at London Heathrow. They were like, oh, there's no planes. And it's like, yeah, because it's snowing. Just, I know you may have like business trips and stuff, but it's Christmas anyway. Just,
right.
Stay at home.
Things can wait.
Sit in front of a nice fire and read some Charles Dickens or something. Be really be really British.
Really British.
Mug of Earl Grey.
So not only have you come... hang on, I'm just going to have a go at Suzie Sunshine here.
Oh, gosh.
Not only have you managed to come into my recording session late, wearing pyjamas with wet hair, you're now going through your handbag for personal items. I don't really think your heart is in this.
I need a chapstick.
It smells really good, her chapstick.
I know.
Is it Burt's Bees?
Let me smell it.
No.
Why not?
Because you just made fun of me. That's why.
What,
when you're mean, you don't get things.
What smell is it?
Richard.
Yeah, but what smell is it?
Delicious. That's what smell.
That isn't a fragrance. That's a word. Like if you said strawberry, I could understand that.
It
But
could be a
delicious
fragrance.
isn't a smell.
It
What?
could be.
Mm-hmm. I think Beyonce just came out with it, actually, the fragrance.
Fragrance.
Delicious.
I want to smell it. How does it smell? Is it really
sighs.
Is it really nice?
It is. It's peppermint.
It's beeswax lip balm.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get it.
All natural. Very classy.
Oh, it does actually smell quite nice.
I
Oh, I
know.
got a bit on my. I got a bit on my finger now.
I put it on your lips. Do you
No,
need some chapstick?
No, I'm gonna just wipe it on my jeans awkwardly.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, so that's why we don't have heated runways in the UK. Just to go back to that conversation before Suzie rudely started going through all of her things. Yeah, that's why we don't have heated runways in the UK. But like we didn't really have that much snow this year in the UK. It was just freezing. Like I realised by the time, because like here, like the cold is like a really kind of dry cold, so it's all right. Like it doesn't feel that cold even when you're outside. Well done. He just likes to injure himself quite badly on a chair. Are you okay?
It was my funny bone.
No.
Not very funny, is it?
No.
Well, it is for us.
I never like hitting the funny bone because it's
I'm
not
tearing
actually
up.
that funny. Like
I'm
it
tearing
actually
up
it
right now.
genuinely hurts.
Yeah,
That's
it
the
hurts, and
problem.
it keeps
You know
hurting.
why they call it the funny bone, right?
Why?
Because it's
Humor?
funny for everybody else around you.
Good one.
Also, it's the humerus, just to get technical with you. Just a scientific term.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what the bone's called.
Okay.
Okay.
I can't remember what I was saying before Luke managed to then go and injure himself
We were
badly.
going to talk about New Year's.
We were. There was something else I was going to talk about, but I've completely lost it now. New Year's was great. I was back in the UK. I was among my family and friends, and it was just really nice.
Swell time.
It was. That's such an American expression, but yes, it was. I had over like a load of my friends for New Year's, and my parents always do this thing. Like we always have a really big street party down our street, and like basically everyone down the avenue gets involved. And like I remember all of my friends kind of like came over to our house, and like my parents left at like 11 p.m. to go down to this other street party
Yes.
because someone else was hosting it this year. And like I remember, like, by the time it got to, like, midnight, everyone was like, oh, what shall we actually do then? And so, basically, we went and joined my parents' party. Like, a group of 19, 20-year-olds all went to go and join my parents' party down the road. And we kind of, like, went and stayed with them for sort of 2 hours, and everyone was really enjoying it, but it was kind of really strange at the same time. I don't know why we did that.
Adults know how to party.
They actually do.
They've been doing it for a while.
Considering my parents are both, like, 60...
They save
They
up.
can dance quite well.
They save up to New Year's while they're getting going.
I think so.
Whatnots.
Well, my parents generally have parties like once every month or so. They're quite...
Ooh.
Yeah, they're quite...
They're pretty hip.
They are quite hip. Like, no,
Yeah.
I won't... No, because they're going to be listening to this. So I just have to say, on balance, no, they're not hip. Although since I went to America, I was saying this to my mum when I was back. Like, since I went to America, she now like really likes Coldplay and Rihanna and stuff. And I was like, I don't know when she became so trendy since I left. But like, she likes all this like relatively new stuff now. Like, she heard Kesha Die Young, and she was like, oh, it's really catchy. And I was like,
It is. It's not good, but it's catchy.
no, but like, how can she like that? She hates stuff like that normally.
You know what? It's you learn and you grow with age. And I'm not calling you old, by the way, Richard's mom. I would never. But you know,
She
your
would
parents
never.
are just trendy and hip and cool. They even have a Twitter. I'm going to mention this at every turn. Oh gosh, I love that they have a
They
Twitter.
have a Twitter so that they can speak to me and no one else.
I just
I
love
think-
it because how are you doing?
How
You're
are you
all right.
doing? Are you there? Like, the best tweets I receive are like when I tell them that I'm going to Skype them and then something comes up, so like I'm usually like 10 minutes late or something, and I start getting tweets that are like, are you there? And it's like, yes, I am, just give me a minute.
No, I'm in a ditch.
Actually, no, they have tweeted someone else, one of my other friends, once, and that was when I went down to London to go and see him, and they tweeted him just to say like, glad to see Richard is enjoying.
Baby steps. Baby
Like,
steps.
I know. I
You
was
know?
like, you know, and I remember my friend was like so happy when he got this tweet from my parents, like, yay!
I always get excited. I like people's parents. I don't know. I'm really weird. I'll like hang out with your mom just because I think she's cooler than you, probably.
This is my problem. All of my friends came round at Christmas and New Year and were supposed to be like seeing me. And like they were all really happy to see me. Like I opened up the front door and they were like, "Oh, Richard,
Yeah,
hooray!"
Richard,
Like they all
okay,
hugged
whatever.
me, and then they all went into the front room and just sat with my parents whilst I was getting drinks. And I was like, "This is great." And like one of my closest friends, Eleanor, decided to go and sit in the front room with my parents for like half an hour and just talk to them about like all kinds of stuff. It's
Great.
really weird.
That's why they were waiting for you to get home because it wasn't awkward when they went to hang out with your parents. Like they needed a reason.
Exactly. I think everyone just likes my parents way too much.
I agree.
I think some people like my parents more than they like me.
I'm
Of
not
course.
going. I mean, I plead the fifth.
Okay, so on that note, I'm gonna leave you now. No, I'm not gonna leave you. I'm gonna play Ellie Goulding. I don't know why I said leave you. Although actually, you need to leave.
I
know.
know.
I'm leaving you. I'm
Susie
sorry.
needs to leave at this song because she's got work.
My
and-
glamorous life. I've just got a jet
Got a jet.
And
in
this
my pajamas.
and and this week your phone actually hasn't gone off. So
Only
congrats.
because it's on silent.
Oh, that was a
We
smooth-
live and we learn.
That was a smooth move this time round.
I know. I didn't want anybody else to hear my embarrassing ringtones. I don't know if you guys remember the show Bill Nye the Science Guy,
Of course.
but you've never seen it? Oh gosh,
No.
you have to see it. But the theme song is really embarrassing, and one of my best friends, that's her theme song because she's a
That's her ringtone.
A
organic
nerd.
chemistry major. And so it goes out, it goes, Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Uh,
Science
The
is cool.
property of matter.
Is
It's
that
really, really embarrassing.
It's great. He's great.
But I think me singing it just made it a little bit better. Thanks for joining in, Luke. That
Yeah,
was
of
really
course.
nice.
Is
I
that
dug on that show.
is that genuinely the theme tune? Is that
Yeah.
the-
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
I can find it for you. We can play it on air if you want to.
I think I'd rather not.
It's like
Let's
30
play Ellie
seconds.
Goulding instead. This is Anything Could Happen, and then I'm going to play Figure Eight because that's her brand new one. I don't even think it's been released here yet, but it's been released in the UK.
Fancy.
And it's good. Figure Eight's really good. It's got a really good like chorus drop.
Cool.
So I'm going to play that, and we'll see you in a few minutes.
Bye, guys.
Okay, that was Ellie Goulding Figure Eight, and I've been pushed into doing this now. I now need to play the Bill Nye the Science Guy theme tune because
It's
apparently
so good.
it is that good. So here it is, and then we're going to kind of sit around and laugh about it afterwards because apparently it's fantastic. So here we go. It's 30 seconds. That's
so good. It's so good.
That's terrible.
Bill.
I like the bit where that woman's like, science is cool.
It's science rules.
And like, inertia is a property of matter. It's like, what?
The like Bill trill at the end. It's like, Bill, 9.
What was that show all about? Like,
science.
No, I mean, obviously that, but I mean, like, what was it?
You know, in a cool way, Bill Nye would teach you about all types of sciences.
So it was kind
astronomy, chemistry.
Because, like, we used to have this program.
Earth sciences.
I'm trying to think if we had, like, a similar program in the UK. I know that, like, in the UK we had this program called Zigzag, and that was, like, all, like, history and geography.
Okay.
And that sounds like fairly...
In a cool way?
Kind of in a cool way, yeah. Like, I remember, like, every week there was this thing, like, we used to have to watch it in class, like, because some of the episodes were that genuinely educational.
Yeah, of course.
And, like, every week, like, these people would, like, go to this old Roman chest and would, like, open it up. And there was this, like, little, like, Roman centurion, and he would sit and talk to the camera and be like, your mission is to find out all about... And then these kids had to go... It was really cool. I loved it. But yeah, no, that kind of reminds me of that. But I don't really know if there's any sciencey programs like that in the UK. There must be. But
has to be.
I know at this point, if this program was being recorded live, I would ask people to tweet in. And this is something I must mention, by the way. This program is never live. And I've had people in the UK like trying to tweet me whilst this is being broadcast every month.
Really?
Yeah, I genuinely have. And I had someone once say to me,
love
like,
that.
No, and I had someone once say to me, like, why aren't you in the studio? Because they clicked on the studio webcam, and I was like, I'm not actually there.
Heck yes.
I'm actually in bed when this is being broadcast. Everything's kind of recorded a week in advance for this. So, I mean, not this episode, but usually it is. So that's why you can't see me or tweet us on this.
Sorry, guys.
So we are sorry, but we'll try and like catch up on the following month's kind of like things that you say to us, because I do feel quite bad that we kind of miss you out.
Do you remember anything from last year, even last year's broadcast?
No, I really don't. I know that I got a tweet from one of my friends saying like, "Can you please play Gangnam Style?"
Oh gosh,
and I was like, "No."
There's so many Gangnam Styles. It's ridiculous.
I know. I actually showed my parents Gangnam Style over
Did they
Christmas.
love it? Of course they loved it.
Right, my parents basically sat and watched it like in absolute like stunned silence because I put it on the front room TV.
It's a good video.
I put it on the front room TV with surround sound, like the full effect.
Jeez, audio and visual.
Exactly. So like it was on this big TV. Well, what we classify as big in the UK, 32 inches. That here is like tiny, but you know, and like you know, big
Americans.
Yeah, like big subwoofer and everything else. And like the thing is, my parents kind of like sat there kind of open mouth throughout the whole thing, but I could see like when it was like the chorus, I could see my mum's like feet tapping.
Oh yeah.
And then at the end I was like, so what did you think? And my mum was like, it's awful. so I don't know like where they really stand on it, because my dad and my mum, I think they found the video quite amusing, but they couldn't understand why it reached 1 billion views.
Yeah, because it's visually stimulating.
I don't...
So many great colors in that video.
Yeah, and then my dad then got really like bothered about what the meaning of the song was, and I was like, well, so I had to Google it and find out. But,
yeah.
Now I knew anyway, but
I don't actually.
Do you want me to tell you?
Please do, and our listeners.
Gangnam is a very affluent area of South Korea. Mm-hmm. It's like where all the rich people live, and all of the lyrics in that song like mock people who live like rich lifestyles. And that's why in the video like he's surrounded by like horses and like rich people doing yoga and like boats and stuff. It's just supposed to be mocking the rich people.
That's great.
It's an interesting concept. When you actually know what the meaning of the song is, the video makes so much more sense.
Of course.
But yeah,
fast cars.
So
elevators.
Elevators. Yeah, but there is that fast car though.
Yeah.
With that man wearing that fantastic yellow suit.
Oh yeah, I want one so bad.
I've watched the video so many times. I actually know the parts. Like when I hear it like just without the video, I can actually picture the video going in my head because I've watched the video so many times because it does amuse me.
It's like 1 million of the views is Richard Morris.
Probably, no, 1 billion. And I like the way how now, like on the little YouTube view counter, they've got a little dancing sigh next to it because it's the first ever video to hit 1 billion views. I just think that's fantastic.
Totally.
That's like the best use of a GIF I've ever seen in my entire life.
I love GIFs.
I love GIFs. They're always great.
Watch them over and over again. Have you seen these like kind of 3D GIFs?
No.
They're kind of shot from different angles, so it kind of looks like it's in 3D. Check it out.
I will try and search them.
Yeah.
So I need you to tell me about your Christmas and New Year because we were going to ask Suzie Sunshine about this.
Yeah, but she's gone.
But she's gone now because she needs to go to work.
Such a lovely voice that girl has.
Because such a lovely what?
Voice.
Yeah, she does have a good voice actually.
Yeah.
She really does. Yeah. Okay.
My Christmas, I hung out with some family of my mother's. My father is in San Diego, so I just talked to him on the telephone.
Not on Skype.
Not on Skype.
Okay.
And we ate some delicious food with my mom and some of her sisters and brothers and things like that. And
this is actually something
my brother was there.
This is actually something I must tell you.
What is it?
Are you ready?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Are you ready?
I'm sitting.
My Christmas dinner was cooked by my host dad, and I helped him cook it. But that isn't what I was going to say.
Okay.
He used to be a chef for the Royal Air Force in the UK, and so his stuff was really good. And he's cooked for the royal family twice, and I was like, "Ooh, he's actually quite good." And like everything he made was like I could have just eaten more. Like I got to the point where I was like, I literally can't have another bite, but I just so wanted more. But it was just really, really nice. So he was a really good cook, and he let me help him. My mum has this thing about like Christmas Day, like she always prepares everything the day before, which is fine.
Yeah.
Which means that I would maybe sometimes like to help. I know that she'll be listening to this and scoffing and being like, no, he never wants to help. But there are some times when I'm like, I could help you with like slicing sprouts or whatever. But, you know, she does everything like in advance anyway. So it's kind of like I never feel as though I get to help on Christmas Day, which irritates me sometimes.
Oh, everybody listening, let's get a big oh for Richard.
Let's not do that. So what about so that was like your Christmas. What about your New Year?
Christmas was, Christmas. New Year was pretty fun for me. I got invited to a friend's party, which I was given the task of DJing, which I do sometimes. So
and you actually do quite well.
I've
heard some of your mixes. They're good.
It's fun. So I had 3 hour-long mixes that I did for them, and I also put together a really nice playlist with some Prince and some David Bowie. Yeah.
Nice retro stuff.
And we cheers the New Year. At the New Year, a local Carrollton band, Baby Baby, shout out. They played at 12 o'clock. Everybody got really rowdy.
Did they?
Yeah.
Actually, hang on. Baby Baby, where have I heard about them before? Have I possibly read about them in the West Georgian?
Local Carrollton bands.
No, I think I've read about them in the West Georgian before.
Yeah, they're here. They're getting pretty big. You should play them next time, the show. Or maybe at the end of this show?
I don't know if I can. I already have all my music queued up for this one.
Well, next time.
Next time.
We should play it.
Next time, maybe.
They would love it. Trust me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Boys.
I'll do that. I'll be nice to them.
So,
I'll be nice to someone for once.
But that was in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
So that was pretty fun.
The only place I know in Tennessee is Nashville.
Yeah.
But there's a Knoxville.
There's a Knoxville.
Does everything in Tennessee just end with a ville?
Maybe. I haven't really done research on it. I'm just as good with geography as you are.
No, look. I saw a map of the distribution of whatever it's called. What's it called? What's that spider called?
Brown recluse.
Brown recluse, and I was like, and it quite clearly covers the sort of northwest Georgia, and I was like, oh no, that clearly won't bother
us. Even some Tennessee.
Even some of Tennessee. I don't know any of the states. I know California, I know Washington State, and I know where New York is, and I know where Georgia is, and Florida, and Texas is in the middle. And that's about all I know. I literally know. And I know Minnesota is all the way up there because it's always cold.
Above California, there's the Portland Oregon, and there's the Washington.
Oh, I know
State.
Rhode Island, but that's only because I wanted.
But
that's only because when I first started watching Family Guy years ago, I wanted to see if like Rhode Island was real, so I googled it, and so I know that Rhode Island, and it was also the tiniest state because it only has like 2 senators or something. It's tiny. It's tiny. Okay, so now we're gonna play Rihanna.
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna play a new song that I haven't even heard yet, but
it's gonna be edited because
Is it a bit rude?
I mean, Rihanna is pretty racy these days.
She is actually. She is, and I'd better make sure that this is edited.
Oh, we're gonna get the edited
because this is the problem that I have on this radio station. Seems to be playing the explicit version of songs, and then getting our station manager very angry at me.
So angry.
Yes.
So we're gonna do it the right way.
This is going to be Rihanna Jump, the clean version, the radio version, and then we're going to play Where Have You Been, because I was just on iTunes the other day, and it was on shuffle, and that came on, and I hadn't heard it in like 2 weeks.
A good CD. What is that?
And
Talk That Talk?
It's a Talk.
That
yeah,
album?
it's Talk That Talk album. It's right.
So
I
good.
haven't got her new album yet. I need to get her new album.
It's pretty great. Pretty great.
I need to listen to it, actually.
There's this one song that's like, "We're young, so we should party."
That was a terrible impression. That was almost as bad. I have a lecturer who did an impression of Katy Perry songs.
Oh gosh.
The other day, because he was talking about like how terrible she is. Like he just went off on such a tangent about like how terrible Katy Perry was.
Oh my gosh.
And he started like properly singing like, I woke up this morning and my Twitter feed was off, and was properly going for it, and was like, and now my dog's got a broken leg, and then he did like, and then it's the chorus and I shout a bit, and like he got really really into it, and that was literally how he sounded.
Who was this?
I don't know. Can I say the lecturer's name on air? I don't really want to get into trouble with the university.
What class?
It was it's writing for newspapers. It's journalism related. I'm not going to give the actual title of the course because it's obvious which teacher it is.
I'm going to think about it.
we'll talk about it during these next 2 songs, because I reckon you know who it is.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So here's Rihanna, Jump, and Where Have You Been? Okay. We literally have 1 minute and 40 seconds left.
Yeah, we talked a lot.
We have talked a lot.
We're getting good at it, I think.
I just can't get over how heavy that Rihanna song is.
So heavy.
Rihanna Jump. It's like, you can tell it's just made for clubs.
Yep, so many drops.
I know.
So many drops, it's awesome.
It's just surprisingly dubstep for her.
It gives me the chills sometimes.
Yeah, and you were just saying just now, like when we were going through like the edits of the stuff, it's just like the actual... like the build-up and everything, it's just meant for clubs. She just made that. It's like this year's Where Have You Been?
Yeah.
It's that basically. So I've managed to play 2 Rihanna dance club songs in a row earlier on. I do hope that you enjoyed Ellie Goulding Anything Could Happen, especially with all of her ease. I don't know why she does that. It's kind of catchy, but it is a bit at the same time. I don't know why she does that. But there we go. So yeah, I will be back. In February with another edition where I'll talk about things that happened this month. Because, that's a really weird way of recording it, but that's just kind of how it's happened. Stop playing around with the headphone wires.
Fine.
And you may remember, actually, this was supposed to be from England. That actually didn't happen in the end because there was a power failure at my radio station in England, so I've had to record this back here. That's a long story. I'll explain that to you another time. And but... The upcoming June edition, I'd have thought, will be back in England, which will be interesting, I'm sure. But There we go. I shall see you soon. See you next month.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.